easily, but thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. As BET's co-founder, Sheila Johnson has a ton of experience in media, but a lot's changed since she first got the black-focused entertainment cable network off the ground. Johnson spoke to Bloomberg about the state of media and what black audiences might be seeking out now.
I just think that the landscape and the racial landscape of what African Americans are watching is changing. And I just think that we have got such a broad perspective of people out there that want something different, especially this younger generation. So we need to reevaluate what are the goals of black media and what are the answers? What is it out there that we need to answer?
According to Nielsen, just over 50% of black viewers feel there isn't enough content on TV from people of their identity group. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Lowe's has the brands pros trust to get the job done. You can now shop new Catalyst fencing solutions and save big when you do. 10% off when you buy in bulk. Plus, save $180 on a DeWalt 12-inch dual bevel sliding compound miter saw. Now just $449. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 liberty,
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils a truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, or the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah. Da, 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 da.
morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Friday, April 24th, 2026. On this program, I like to look at things from different perspectives. Challenge whatever our current worldview is, and maybe, just maybe, adopt a new point of view. There's nothing wrong, ladies and gentlemen, with changing your mind or changing your perception when presented with new information. That is perfectly fine. There was a period of time, especially in American politics, because this tends to be a political show. We may drift off into other issues, social issues, but even social issues are political, even at their core and their root. But there was a period of time where we didn't even want politicians to be able to change their minds. And that was very harmful for the American people. I think it limited the variety of policy that we need to help to assist, to remedy problems in a very diverse country. We used to call them flip-floppers. Oh, they're a waffler. They waffle. And that was the worst trope that one candidate could throw at another. You don't want to elect so-and-so. They changed their mind. Think about how dumb that was. And where that was useful was during the Iraq war and Afghanistan war. There were some Democrats and maybe even some Republicans, hell, that was a quarter century ago, that voted against the war, but at least George Bush went to Congress. Please let's not overlook that fact. He did request, now Congress got lied to, but he did at least request war powers and war authorizations from Congress where this current president does not. Don't worry, we're going to talk about this current president. Boy, oh boy, did I find a doozy. Or at least I thought it was a doozy, but it's par for the course for this administration. It's so fun. It is, because America did this to itself. The worst thing you could do is call somebody a waffler. Well, they voted for the Iraq war, and then they voted against it. Hillary Clinton was dogged by that when she ran for president in 2008. Then when she ran for president in 2016, she was dogged by Trump, and white women, by the way. White women did not vote for Hillary Clinton. Maybe we should take some cues from white women. Maybe we should. Let's not overthink them. Let's not just cast aside the white lady vote. If they didn't want to vote for Hillary Clinton, then why should any of you? They are the largest voting bloc in America, and maybe they're trying to tell us something, but we refuse to listen to the white ladies. Unless she's a Karen, then we listen. I had a revelation. I got to stay on topic today. I got so much stuff, and none of it is connected. I just have things I'm going to be sharing, but I'm going to get back to how we didn't like when politicians changed their minds, which is stupid, because if you're presented with new information, like, hey, Mr. President, Iraq and Saddam Hussein 25 years ago has weapons of mass destruction. We got to go get them. Okay, let's go get them. Oh, hold on, Mr. President. We come to find out they don't have weapons of mass destruction. It's just a bunch of bottle rockets and firecrackers that they're going to give to a bunch of black kids in the central city just in time for the 4th of July. Oh, okay, well then let's not bomb them then. Those are the kinds of decisions that we want a president or any person in leadership to make. When you get new information, when you get new intelligence, when information is uncovered that you didn't know about before, you're supposed to use that new information to update your damn perspective. And I know, because I changed my mind a lot. I'll go and do something, get there, and be like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I changed my mind, and I reserve the right. But white women as a voting bloc, let me just say this piece, because I can relate. I can relate to the white women's. I don't know how I can express to you all. I'm about to be very vulnerable with you. May I be vulnerable for a moment? I feel like we need violins playing. I'm going to express a moment of vulnerability because I'm a human. I'm a human being, and men should be able to express the vulnerabilities.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Xavier, also a man.
I'm here to validate you.
Thank you for the validation. I don't really have the words to express how much I love Trader Joe's. I'm embarrassed, kind of. I feel like I need a support group because I walk in, I go to the one at Bayshore. It's not big, but my, oh my, the variety. And just the way everything is arranged and organized, it makes me feel like I am in a much larger grocery store. Like what Trader Joe's has in its store is equivalent to what you got to go to Walmart, you need to go to Meejers, you need to go to Metro Market, you need to go to the Woodman's, and Trader Joe's just has it all in about 7,000 square feet. They have your fruits and your vegetables and all of your fresh produces, and then they have like prepared meals and salads and wraps. And you know what I discovered at Trader Joe's? Lobster bisque for $4.99. I have a restaurant that I go to. No, I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to see any of you there. I paid $20 for a cup of lobster bisque at this particular restaurant. Now, look, it's good. It's damn good. You guys ever see Pulp Fiction when Vincent is complaining about a $5 milkshake, but then he tasted it, he was like, oh, think about how cheap a $5 you can't even get a milkshake for $5 anymore. Granted, that was 30 years ago. But someone might say, oh, Sherwin, $20 for a cup of lobster bisque, and then they taste it. They're like, oh, well, I understand why this lobster bisque is $20. For $4.99, I found comparable lobster bisque at Trader Joe's, and you get more of it than what I was paying $20 for. How I relate to the white women, it's all connected here to Trader Joe's. Sometimes when I'm walking through the aisles of Trader Joe's, because I used to just go in there for a couple little quick things, because they have a lot of really healthy, vegan, vegetarian, quick meals, which I like to eat healthy. I'm trying to eat healthy, but chicken is delicious. It's so good. Chicken, I feel like chicken is getting better. That's neither here nor there. As I'm walking through the aisles of Trader Joe's, so now I've upgraded. I get a cart now. And as I'm walking through the aisles of Trader Joe's in Glendale, in the Bayshore Mall complex, if the black kids were smart, they would take over Trader Joe's and take over some of those great deals they have on produce. If they were smart, but they're not. I'm walking through the aisles, I'm humming Barry Manilow songs, singing the chorus to songs by Styx. And I feel like a 61-year-old white lady from Whitefish Bay whose grandkids are coming for the weekend as I'm walking through the aisle of Trader Joe's. I feel like I'm better than everyone. I feel like I am entitled to see the manager no matter what. Like if I'm looking, because they had this vegetable lasagna, and it's so good. And it's like $6.99, and it's seriously 2 meals. But when I go to Trader Joe's and they don't have the vegetable lasagna, I'm ready to be very angry, ready to fight somebody. Like I'm personally offended. I start looking around like, is anybody else seeing that the vegetable lasagna is not here? It's not in stock. Hi, excuse me. Hi, do you work here? And it's usually a person that doesn't. That really offends people. Did you know that? When you approach somebody, because they don't wear something that looks like a smock. Hi, I'm sorry, do you work here? No, jeez. Calm your breasts, lady. Making a mistake. But then when you find somebody that works there, we always do this thing. I don't know where it came from, but we still do it. If you really want a particular product from a store and you don't see it on the shelves, we ask somebody, oh, do you have some in the back? They don't. They don't have any in the back. They literally don't. That's the same, like, hokey pokey thing that when you go buy a car and the person you're working with says, oh, let me go and check this with the manager, and they walk away. They're not going to check anything with a manager. They're just doing that to make you wait. They're adding pressure to the sales scenario. That's all they're doing. Hi, can you go check in the back? They wouldn't have something that's popular just in the back, not out on the shelf. So we got to stop doing that. But I feel when I drive with my hands at 10 and 2. My seatbelt is on. My seat is way too close to the steering wheel. I have a complete and total disregard for all of the traffic around me. And I sometimes tailgate people. I just feel like a 61-year-old white woman who, well, I don't really feel like preparing any casseroles this weekend. The grandkids are going to come, and we're just going to play board games. And watch The Wizard of Oz, the original one, before it got all woke. You know what I mean? I feel when I'm walking through Trader Joe's, it's an experience. It is. There's no black people there. I'm okay with it. I'm all right. Some places I go, I want to see black people because it makes me feel comfortable. I'm a little bit more relaxed. My anxiety is reduced because I believe that African Americans are far more understanding and tolerant of other black people than white people are tolerant of us. So in certain places, I want to see more black people. Like, you know, when I work for a broadcast media company, I want to see more black people. It just makes me feel somewhat like I am at home. But then there's other places where I get a respite because it's a lot. The blacks are... Yes, I'm one of them, but I'm not one of them. Does that make sense to y'all?
Are you saying you're a good one?
Actually, no, because I'm really, really smart, and that's bad. Because if you're too smart, it's not fair. You know, I can be several steps ahead of...
Yeah, I can see how they don't like that.
So as an example with my radio show, and this is why I was just talking to X about this. It's kind of embarrassing, but I've been at 101.7 The Truth since launch. January 4, 2021. It's 5 years and some change. I've had 7 producers. I was at WNOV for 6 years, almost 7 years. And I had 3 producers, and one of them is an elected official now. So he clearly was in the wrong profession when he was producing my show. That school board director, Daryl Jackson. See, you know what happened? I was talking all that politics stuff to now school board director Daryl Jackson with my shows, because I was way, like my whole show was just all political. Just everything, bills and it was boring. I thought it was boring. And then he went and ran for office. Like, I hadn't talked to him, and like he left, and then he went on about his life. And I hadn't seen him or talked to him in years because I was very focused and dedicated and kind of had blinders on because I was focused on developing as a professional broadcaster. So I didn't really keep up or keep in touch with Daryl Jackson. I remember I had a conversation with Aisha Carr. And Aisha Carr was like, oh, yeah, you know, school board director Daryl Jackson. I'm like, oh, clearly that's a common name for the blacks because I, too, know a Daryl Jackson. And think about it. Daryl Jackson is more of a generic common name for a black person than Jerome and Tyrone. I only know one Jerome. Now, here's the crazy part. It's my uncle's name. But I only know one Jerome. I don't know many Tyrones. I knew one Tyrone. Well, there used to be a Tyrone who used to call my show at WNOV. I don't know where he is. And there was another Tyrone that I knew from in the 90s. But Daryl Jackson is a way more common generic African-American name. Like if I hear, the police are seeking a known suspect, no offense, school board director Daryl Jackson, but come on, your name is just, it's like the cornflakes of black names. It's just ubiquitously stereotypical. And so Aisha was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm working with, this was years ago, obviously. I'm working with school board director Daryl Jackson. I'm like, oh, that's curious. My first producer at WNOV was also named Daryl Jackson. She was like, yeah, your former producer is now an elected official. I was like, I do declare. Then I turned into a Southern white woman. So there you go. I don't even think that rant was necessary, but I felt like I had to get all of that off of my chest.
Made sense to me.
At least it made sense to somebody. We got some things we're going to be discussing today. Our YouTube poll question, I find this one a little interesting, and who knows what the results are going to be. I have a feeling I know what the results are going to be, but, you know. Who commits more crime? Hispanics. I want you to keep this in mind now. So I got all the important races. Hispanics, Asians, whites, and blacks. Who do you think commits more crime? So what you'll do is you'll go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, search 1017 The Truth, hit subscribe, and you'll be able to participate in the chat, view the live stream of the show and also answer our poll question. But I want you to remember, because crime is, it's like a moving target, because what is criminalized now may not have been illegal some years ago, right? 30 years ago, you got caught with a joint, the police would beat you to death. Now you can sell it legally. I don't really talk much about marijuana because I think the ship has sailed for Wisconsin. Stop thinking that we're going to get all this damn tax revenue. It's going to be a windfall tax revenue. Marijuana is too competitive. Marijuana sales is so competitive in the Midwest that we're so late to the party in Wisconsin that the tax revenue you think we're going to get is going to be probably reduced by half. And the tax revenue that you think we're going to get is not going to go and fund the things that you want it to fund. Do you know that there's a dispensary right across the state line in Illinois? I'm not going to tell you what that one is either, because I'm not saying that I go. I got friends that go, and I just take the road trip. I like taking road trips. But it's right across the state line. You show them a Wisconsin ID, they give you 20% off. Whatever legalized recreational marijuana will cost in Wisconsin, it'll still be cheaper to go to that dispensary right across the state line in Illinois, because they like Wisconsin money, and they're getting so much of it that they can offer people with a Wisconsin ID, because you got to show your ID before you buy any of the products. They like it. They make so much money off of Wisconsin folks. If you go look at the parking lot, it's all Wisconsin license plates because you get 20% off. So I think we've missed the party. And also, we're going to tax marijuana at such a high level that you're better off getting your weed from whoever you get it from now. Some of y'all have been buying weed from, Tyrone since the 90s. Why would you change it up just because it's legal? Because when it's legalized, yeah, it might be a little bit more regulated, maybe. I don't know. There's got to be some benefit to having legal cannabis. I suppose you could hold somebody accountable if you get a bad batch. But when you get your stuff from Tyrone don't really put a tax. He just sells it for what it costs. Who commits more crime is our YouTube question of the day. Hispanics, Asians, whites, and blacks. Remember, crime is a shifting and changing, moving target. Being a Latino in this country is a crime. So think about this now. Being a Latino, you're a crime. You're a criminal. You're a walking criminal. So if you believe that illegals are illegal and they should go back to wherever they come from, then you have to say Hispanics are committing crime just by being here. I just want you to be very broad in your understanding of the question we are asking you today via YouTube. Who commits more crime, Hispanics, Asians, whites, and blacks? I'm going to clear this up for you. I'm going to let you know. Got some details I want to share with you, and also poverty. I want to give an explanation, as is the title of today's show. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you joining us. I'm going to take a break, come back, and we're going to dig into things that hopefully foster a better understanding of our world. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
May is Skilled Trades Month, a time to celebrate the hands-on careers that keep our industries and our communities moving forward. At Junior Achievement, students are discovering that today's skilled trades include technology, robotics, and smart manufacturing. With support from Rockwell Automation, students are exploring how advanced manufacturing and automation will power the factories of the future. Thank you, Rockwell, for helping inspire the next generation of technicians, engineers, and innovators. Learn more at ja.org.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yikes. I think I'm in love again. This time
Our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. 1 week from today, we will be giving away $5,000 courtesy of the award-winning 1017 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. I'm so excited to give somebody $5,000. I am more excited to hear how someone is going to spend the money, because you guys do some very unusual and unconventional things with the money. I remember when Reggie won, I think he may have been the last winner. He's like, I'm going to rent a car and drive to Kentucky. And what can I say about it? You do whatever you want with your money. We have one lady who's on our promo for the Gruber $5,000 giveaway who says, I'm going to put a down payment on a pickup truck. Good for you. I hope she got her pickup truck. I hope she's ready for all of her friends to ask her to help them move, because that's what happens when you get a pickup truck. Linda, what are you talking about? Linda says, I love Sendix and I like Trader Joe's too. Definitely do not care for stores that do not respect my kind. You would think, Sendix I don't go to. Something about Sendix I can't do. There's a Sendix on 80th and North Avenue, which would be the one closest to where I reside. I don't like it. Something about Sendix is wrong. It's very wrong. It's sedity. Like Sendix, when you walk into Sendix, it feels like people are just like looking down their nose at you.
You feel that way?
Yeah.
Their hot food is amazing.
I bet it is, but here's another thing that I don't like about Sendix. The one that's in Wauwatosa. All of the shoppers are exceptionally Caucasian. Exceptionally. Like allergic to the sun Caucasian. Like socks and sandals kind of Caucasian. You understand? Do you have the picture in your head of the kind of Caucasians that are at the Sendix on the 80th and North Avenue? And shout out to the Sendix on the 80th and North Avenue, because they also have this dichotomy. It's a little bit of duplicity, I call it. All of the cashiers are black women with multicolored weaves. I've never seen such a contrast like it. I don't even know how they came to having such hiring decisions. But I just it's not that bothers me. It's just I don't, and it's very small. It's cramped. Trader Joe's is small, but laid out in a way where you don't feel cramped. I don't like being close to other people in a grocery store. I don't like it. So if somebody is hovering over the broccoli or the broccolini, or hovering over the prepared sandwiches and salads, I don't go next to them and browse next to them. I wait until they leave. I don't know what it is. I need distance at the grocery store. And also, as you're pushing your shopping cart, please listen to this very important rule. Y'all should be glad I'm not governor, because first thing I would do is turn all of Racine into a data center. So that's the first thing I do. So you don't want me to be governor for that. But I think when you are operating a shopping cart, observe the rules as if you were on the road. A shopping cart should be treated like an automobile. You don't just leave your car in the middle of the street while you walk down the road to go do something. There's someone that will leave their cart in the middle of the aisle and then walk clear to the other side of the aisle while their cart is just left there. So because I get very frustrated, I'll do one of two things. People hate me when I do both. So the first thing I'll do is I'll bump their cart with mine. I'm like, get out of here. Boom, I bump it, move it. And then they get offended, like, hey, that's not your cart. You didn't even pay for the things that are in the cart yet. That's all the grocery store stuff. But here's something else that I do. Sometimes people will have things in their cart that I also purchase. And let's say I need some red onions. Well, the red onions is over with the produce, and I might be over near the frozen food or the refrigerated cases, okay? And the produce is real far away. I'm like, oh, snap, I forgot to get red onions. If they have red onions in their cart, I'll take it out of their cart.
That's a bit aggressive.
No, it's not. It's not their red onions, because you have it in a cart that also is not yours. That's not you didn't pay for it. If I'm taking red onions out of your shopping bag after you've already paid, totally different story. Charge me with the crime if I do that. But if you have stuff, first of all, you shouldn't have walked away from your cart. What do you think this is? You left a cart in the middle of an aisle that you left unattended at a grocery store in which you have purchased nothing. So I got to teach folks a lesson. I'm here to teach. I don't know why you
kind of remind me of Larry David.
An old, balding, neurotic, Jewish white fella, huh?
Yeah, kind of. You have certain rules. I mean, I have rules too, so nothing wrong with that.
JD the Poet says, I like Metcalf's in Tulsa. You know what, JD? Metcalf's on 68th and State in Wauwatosa, it feels condescendicky, kind of like a Sendix. It feels that way, but it's not. So I'm a fan of the Metro Mart, right, which is right across the street, which is weird because you have two competing grocery stores literally right next door to each other. I prefer the Metro Market just because that's my pick and save. It used to be pick and save. Here's the problem that I have with them. And I'll go to that grocery store because it's kind of on my way home, somewhat. Hell, I might go there a couple days a week. But, just to get a couple of little few things. I don't do one big grocery shopping trip because it just doesn't make any sense because I'm a single person and I might be out quite a bit and I don't want to buy a bunch of food if I'm not at home to eat it and prepare it, etc. And nowadays you can eat just as well, just as healthy out as you can. And also it might even be cheaper depending upon where you're going, what you're buying, and how often you eat. It might be cheaper on occasion to go out to eat than to prepare food at home. Like with my chickpea salad I make, which is top notch. It could be James Beard award winning, but I need turmeric, I need dill, I need tahini, I need the chickpeas, I need European cucumbers or greenhouse cucumbers. Here's what's crazy. The tahini is like $7. The turmeric, the dill, because I want to buy high-quality spices, those might be $5.99, $6.99 a piece. So it's expensive. I might pay $16 or $17 to make a damn chickpea salad, where I can go out to eat and get damn near a whole meal for that dollar amount. That's neither here nor there. But the problem with the Metro Market on State is, let's say I go on a Monday, and then I go back on a Wednesday or Thursday to pick up a couple of items or to take something out of somebody's cart because I'm boss like that. They'll rearrange the whole store. The whole. You know how frustrating it is when the store, because you get used. The store is like it's your house. You know where everything is. I can go into some stores. I know exactly where things are, what shelf they're on, what aisle they're in. They have rearranged that store. I'm not kidding you. 5 times in the last 5 years. Like you walk in and it's where the balloons are at now. The liquors, they moved the liquor to the front. Smart, actually. Because you don't want the people that are, if you're going to a grocery store to buy liquor, you're particular. You know what I'm saying? Don't make those people walk to the rear of the store. Don't hide the liquor. Bring that liquor up front. What are you doing? I got some guests coming over. I don't have time to walk through this entire store. I think it would be smarter. Because if you're going to a grocery store to buy liquor, you have intent. You know what I mean? Make them walk through the entire store, because here's what I find. The further away from the door the items I'm going to purchase are, the more stuff I'm going to buy. I could use some spaghetti sauce. Oh, look. Cremette's angel hair pasta is on sale. Side note, pasta aisle is a great place to pick up women. Let me tell you about a fantastic way, because you can tell a woman's status. You can tell, like, if she's employed, professionally employed, if she has kids, how many kids, by how she's dressed, what time of the day it is, and what is in her cart. If we're in the pasta aisle, I can say, oh, you know what? Oh, so you're getting Cremette's pasta. You know, sometimes I like to get the store brand. I'm curious, what kind of sauce are you going to make with that pasta? Immediate conversation. She's not feeling threatened. She's not thinking I'm a creep. We're over here talking about pasta, and I'm over here thinking, yeah, you're finished. You're done, lady. I was like, oh, you know what? Well, I'm gonna do an angel hair with a vodka sauce with this, and I'm gonna let you know how it is. How about what's your Instagram? I'll send you a picture of it. Oh, here, take my phone number. Text me. Next thing you know, we're both rolling in pasta sauce. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's take a break. Linda said that I've given the data before of the poverty and race figures. So what? I'm going to give it to you in a different way now. I've got a different perspective. Don't tell me Then what is it then, Linda? Then recite it for me exactly. Y'all over here criticizing me. Y'all don't know what I go through. They don't know how hard this is, X. I get up every single day and like, what am I going to say to these people?
You seem kind of triggered today. Did something happen to you?
No, ain't nothing. When you do this every single day, you got to do it different. Because I get bored with myself sometimes.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I don't.
I got some reports for you.
I bet you do. I feel one way when I'm conducting the show. Sometimes when I go back and listen, I don't feel the same way. So whatever, let's take a break, come back, and let's disappoint Linda, which I don't think takes much. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. This is not what you guys expected to hear. I don't care what you expect to hear. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I'll definitely give you what you need to know. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Need a quick, delicious way to fuel your day? Try one of our new protein power plays from Cousin Subs. Power ham, power turkey, power club, power tuna. 4 craveable 5-inch subs on freshly baked Italian bread. Packed with protein, up to 33 grams. All for just $7.99 for a limited time. It's the flavor you love with the fuel you need. Grab a protein power play in store, online, or on the Cousin Subs app today. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Don't miss one of Milwaukee's favorite summer traditions, the U-Path Ride for Arts, presented by Miller Lite, returns Sunday, May 31st. Ride a fully closed 20-mile course across the Hone Bridge with incredible lakefront views. Kids 12 and under ride free thanks to the Brewers Community Foundation. All in support of Southeastern Wisconsin Performing Arts. 7 a.m. start, finish at U-Path Fest on Summerfest grounds. Register today at upathride.org. That's upathride.org.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
You've been diagnosed with COPD, but breathing seems to be getting harder. Everyday activities, walking to the mailbox, going up the stairs, talking on the phone take more effort than they used to. You're short of breath more often, flare-ups are happening more frequently, and slowly, life starts to feel smaller. Is this you? If your COPD symptoms are getting worse, there may be options that can help you breathe easier and get back to doing more of what matters to you. That could mean walking further, spending more time with family and friends, feeling more confident leaving the house, and getting back to the life you want to live. If your COPD is changing, it's time to have a conversation with your doctor. Visit the COPD Foundation website at isthisyoucopd.org to learn the signs of severe and worsening COPD and the right questions to ask next. Take action today, breathe better tomorrow.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Take me as I am, or leave me where I stand. We're friends until the end, till the end, until the end. We're friends until the end.
Is there a measurable connection between poverty and crime? Yes. Among impoverished black and impoverished whites, who commits more crime? Now, it gets very specific, and I want to be as specific as I possibly can be in presenting this information, because when we come up with anti-crime strategies, there is no one-size-fits-all. We have to know that as fact. And also, incarceration does not prevent crime. If anything, in the long longitudinal view, repeat offenders are going to have a higher likelihood of committing offenses, because while they are confined, or even while they are serving their sentence out of confinement because they're on probation or parole, and there's a lot of rules. When I was at WNOV, I used to get a lot of letters from people in jail. Talk radio is surprisingly popular amongst the confined. Shout out to brothers on Cell Block C. They're all cheering now. They're all, don't riot! Don't riot! But a lot of them will listen to the show. Well, hell, we had a guy call yesterday. The one that got us the hotkey, 1 minute remaining. That was him calling us from the joint. The more time somebody spends in confinement, it obviously is not helping their resume. And they're out of the workforce, and the likelihood that they will get gainful employment, it's not impossible, but it just makes it more of a barrier, and the likelihood they will reoffend increases exponentially. So incarcerating someone is not, unless you keep them there forever. If you keep somebody there forever, well, then they can't offend. And if they offend, they'll offend in jail, which, I mean, when you look at it realistically, if you're going to commit a crime, committing a crime in jail is probably the best place to do it, because you're not committing a crime against an innocent person out in public. It's like having a heart attack in a hospital. Like, if you go to a hospital just for your annual checkup, you're like, oh, snap, I'm having a heart attack. Like, oh, perfect place to have a heart attack is in the hospital, because there's people that know how to do heart attack stuff, right? But if, and it's not an if, there is a connection, even though it's nuanced. I'm going to try and explain, hence the name of the show, The Explanation, these nuances between crime and poverty. Then if poverty is a leading precursor, if it's predictive, then all you got to do is admonish, diminish, reduce, and eliminate poverty. But we don't do that. But whatever crime strategies we come up with, and this is why segregation in Milwaukee still rears its ugly head, because you have people that are completely, wholly, and totally unfamiliar with the African American community that are coming up with ideas and strategies to reduce and to mitigate crime in the black community. If you ask a 58-year-old white person who grew up in Elkhorn, Whitewater, Oak Creek, where else could they have grown up? Grown up in Germantown, where apparently the Germans live. Oak Creek or Franklin, if you ask them what are some strategies to reduce, eliminate, and mitigate the crime in the black community, they're going to come up with some ideas, mostly stereotypical stuff. But then if you ask an African American who might be a community organizer or an advocate who has been working with, and who might be a product of poverty themselves, who maybe only grew up with one parent, who was transient, they moved around a lot, and they went to a bunch of different schools, and they saw all of the ins and the outs and the dirty details of what it's like to live in that developmental environment. If you ask them what would reduce, mitigate, and eliminate poverty, it would be totally different. The problem is the white person who is wholly unfamiliar with the black community likely has more power to implement something. Do you see what I mean? And so the segregation keeps like minds, because they both want to reduce poverty, but very disparate solutions, and it keeps them, they're very, very far away from each other. So one of the answers would be, how do we get more people? And this has been the bane of my existence. How do we get more people that are organizers and advocates that grew up in those conditions? All of the negative social indicators you could imagine, including underperforming schools, didn't have the benefit of 2 incomes in the household. Maybe they were unsupervised and they were unguided because their mother had to work 2 and 3 jobs, or their single father had to work 2 and 3 jobs, and there was a lot of negative influences in the community, a lot of drugs, a lot of the people that were looked up to in that community probably went to prison themselves. They might have a relative that's in prison, which is also an indicator. Trying to get people who know that world, getting them elected so they can make policy. Because their policy will be much more realistic, it'll be much more thoughtful, and it will address some of the cultural and social nuances that exist between middle-class, upper-middle-class white folks that run for office and think they know versus black folks who grew up in poverty who absolutely know. Here's the problem, and there's many, because I think that's somewhat of a righteous cause, to get someone who has lived that life, who has seen that life, who know what the real solutions are, getting them to the legislature or getting them on the common council or the county board where they can create and craft legislation, policy, and ordinances that can really address some of those issues that some of us don't even know exist. The people that we need to vote for someone who has that real world experience in dealing with and battling poverty, the people they need to get elected don't vote. And then I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? Literally one of your own who knows the block, who's dealt with homicides, non-fatal shootings, went to a poor performing school, lived in dilapidated housing, dealt with their mother being involved with a violent partner. They've seen all of it. Those people make the best elected officials, but whom they need to vote for them. I'm talking about local, because all politics are local, even though we are going to talk about Trump. The Trump administration straight up hired a hoe. They hired a prostitute who was on a sugar baby website. And she was just hoeing. Let me be clear. I'm not going to say something like, oh, I don't have a problem with sex work. I encourage it. I think it needs to be recognized. I think it needs to be regulated. And I think that those sex workers need to be protected, because guess what, ladies? If you are not giving physical attention and physical intimacy to your husband, and that's one of the reasons why he married you, so he can do that with just you, once you take that away from him, you shouldn't be able to take it away from him forever. You need sex workers, because if some men aren't getting laid, they will go crazy. Just give them a little trim, like you'll save lives. Open them thighs and save some lives. Say some lies, too.
I didn't say anything wrong there.
Open the thigh, save a life. Bar.
I'll clip that.
Thank you. Should I say it again so it's very crystal clear?
Yeah.
Open thighs, save lives. Open them thighs and save some lives. So sex work needs to be respected. It does, because they're doing God's work. I mean, Jesus hung out with Mary Magdalene. Magdalene or Magdalene? Whatever, she was a hoe too. So, and y'all need to stop playing. Everybody loves hoes. Hoes are an incredible fun time. Hoes are who you want with you in the club when you have a section, when you have bottle service. Like, hoes they turn the party up. Right, I get to a party, I'm like, first thing I want to know where the food is, where can I make a drink, and then, the next question I'm asking, where the hoes at? So I'm going to take a break, come back, get into the nuances of crime and poverty and race. Who commits more crime, as that is our YouTube question of the day. Go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, search 1017 The Truth, hit subscribe. We're almost at 7,000. We're like 80 away from getting 7,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. So subscribe if you have not, but then also vote in our YouTube poll. I'm going to take a break, come back, continue our conversation. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, and we do this weekdays from 9 a.m. until 12 noon Central Standard Time. Podcasts available everywhere, live streaming on 1017thetruth.com. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do with $5,000?
Going to look at buying me a pickup truck. That will be some of my down payment.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
I love you guys.
I got money now.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we don't leave success to chance. We're designed for it. With strong support, high expectations, and a team committed to excellence, our educators turn belief into outcomes every day. If you believe every child deserves an excellent education, join Milwaukee College Prep. Apply today. Visit mkeprep.com/jobs.
Walk in for a suit, walk out with two. It's buy one, get one half off throughout April at Nick Avani's. Suits, blazers, hats, jeans, and more. Everything you need from a hands-on team that styles you from head to toe. Find a suit, add shoes for half the price. Land the perfect two-piece set, now add a vest for 50% less. Prom, weddings, galas, whatever's on your calendar, now's the time to stop in to Nick Avani's. Second floor at Mayfair Mall across from AMC. Buy one, get one half off throughout April at Nick Avani's. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details.
April is Global Volunteer Month. Wisconsin's volunteers are transforming our communities every day through their acts of service. Wondering how you can give back? Find the perfect volunteer opportunities at volunteerwisconsin.org or contact your local United Way or volunteer center. On volunteerwisconsin.org, you can filter opportunities by location, organization, cause, accessibility, and more to find your best fit. VolunteerWisconsin.org is hosted by United Way of Wisconsin and Serve Wisconsin. Paid for by United Way of Wisconsin.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Keep me looking sharp like switchblade. Hand all on my thigh while we switch lanes. Shining next to you, all respect. BB on my wrist, got no restraint. It's like that dripping, drip down water. Like
JD says, in 48 minutes, we've discussed criminality, great shopping, happy hours, prostitution, and the Bible. It's lit today. There was another comment that was made. I'm going to start fresh for hour two. Hour two starts at 10 o'clock. This hour has just been a series of incoherent rants, but they make sense. I guess making sense of being incoherent. Well, you have to be a listener of this show to understand how my incoherence makes sense. JD says Mary Magdalene was not a prostitute. She is never described as one in the New Testament, which instead portrays her as a devoted disciple and the first witness to Jesus' resurrection. Well, then who was Jesus' hoe? Don't they say, because I get my Bible information firsthand, that he hung out with prostitutes? And he was a carpenter, so, you know, carpenter, blue-collar dudes love hoes. But I'm not saying hoe like it's bad. It's just a colloquial term. Just like in certain contexts, I don't think the N-word is bad.
Yeah,
but some people,
a term of endearment.
It can be. It also can be, I'm really mad at you, you N-word, you.
That's more with the ER.
I've said that one.
Oh, you said that?
Oh, God, yeah. But when I use the ER, I'm 99% of the time referring to a white person.
Oh, okay, good.
One of my very best friends, who is a little short, very muscular, very built Italian. Italians be acting blacker than black people. I'm like, dude, if you don't cut that N-word stuff out right now, I'm going to have to disown you. He's like, hey, what do you mean? Yo, you little N-word, you?
Yeah, I guess Italians and Irish weren't considered white until the GI Bill.
They're still white to me. The Italians get offended when you call them white, especially Sicilians. Hey, I'm not freaking white. I'm freaking Sicilian. Shut up, whitey. Hey, look how tan I get in the freaking summertime. Please help me understand how white folks can have a documented history of being anti-black but want to look as black as they possibly can by admitting their skin color is ugly. They're willing to give themselves cancer to look like the people that they have marginalized. Y'all are messed up.
Are you familiar with the Moors?
Very. Got another one for you. I probably should come back to the microphone. Obese white women can be food influencers and nobody says anything about their weight. A larger black woman can be a food influencer, and if you look at the commentary on her videos, it's all about how fat she is and how she's going to get diabetes and she has high blood pressure. I've never seen anything like it. That is a white privilege. I can't even understand, because I'll be looking in the comments, and there's one, I'm not going to mention any names, but there's one relatively popular, exceptionally obese, like morbidly obese food influencer, but she dresses cute. You know what I mean? She dresses for her body type, and she does great makeup. She makes herself look really pretty. But she's gigantic, right? And I'm not shaming her. I'm fat, too. But I troll. I got to stop that. It's so much fun, though. Don't put a phone in my hand, especially if I had a couple of glasses of Merlot. The whole world is unsafe.
Oh, you like to prank call?
Oh, we used to.
Oh, I used to, too.
In the 80s, you can't prank call.
In the early 2000s, you could.
So this very morbidly obese food influencer lady has got all these comments, and she's huge, and she's just shoving food in her mouth. And all these comments, oh my God, girl, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so cute. Slay. T, your outfit is T. Your hair, oh, you're so beautiful. And there's one woman in particular who just kept going on and on and on about her physical beauty, which clearly in the eye of the beholder. So this is what I did. So she said, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Where did you get that outfit? Oh my God, and I love your hair. And the person that was commenting on the morbidly obese food influencer, she was attractive in her own right. She actually kind of favored a 100-pound lighter version of the food influencer. So I sent her a message. I said, you kind of look like the food influencer. She inboxed me and cussed me out. It's like, why in the hell would you say something like, I don't look nothing like her. I don't look nothing like her. But all the comments that she said was, oh my God, you're so pretty. You're so pretty. Admitting that she was lying to that fat girl. That's crazy. I'm going to take a break, come back, and start fresh for hour 2 because I don't know what hour 1 was.
It was pretty good.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, join the Milwaukee County Office of Equity on Saturday, April 25th at 10 a.m. for the Story of Wealth exhibition at the Wisconsin Black Historical Society. Discover how policies have shaped financial opportunities in Milwaukee. Hear from a powerful panel, including Michelle Bryant, Claiborne Benson, Deborah Blanks, Kirk Harris, with keynote speaker James J.B. Bell. This event is free to attend, with food provided, door prizes, and great music. So make sure to get there early. Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
Another function of white supremacy, don't teach black people stuff, because if you give us a little bit of knowledge, we'll invent something totally new. That's why it was illegal to teach slaves to read, because if we could read, then we could write. And if we could write, we could communicate. And if we could communicate, we could plan. And if we could plan, we could strategize. And if we can plan and write and read and communicate and strategize, we could overthrow white supremacy, because they've always known how fragile it is.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
As parents, we have a million things running through our minds. Playdates, checkups, groceries, laundry, diapers, work, carpool schedules, picture day, swim team, did we mention diapers, birthday parties, meal prep, lost permission slips, dentist appointments, and the dog that still needs to be walked. So it's easy to make a mistake. Oh, I forgot birthday candles. Sit tight, hon, I'll be right back. We say we'd never put our kids in danger by leaving them in the car alone. Oh, wait, since when are candles not on the baking aisle? But never happens. And temperatures as low as 60 degrees can be deadly for children left behind. So always bring them with you, and every time you park the car, stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org and donate if you can. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Set the cheetahs on the loose. There's a thief out on the move.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We're going to get to the bottom of this, and I'm going to provide, hopefully, a detailed and accurate explanation. Who commits more crime? Which race is responsible for more? And does poverty have an impact? It does, but in a way that we may not consider. And I want to provide this information to hopefully spark better policy discussions, because we have a lot of elections coming up. Bunch of people are running for office. And right now it seems that they are running for reasons that are important to them instead of doing it organically, listening to people who are living in the affordability crisis or living deep in the throes of poverty or not able to afford becoming a homeowner or not being able to afford to take care of their children and their families. That is where the solution should come from. So I think if we have these discussions in an open and honest and very public forum, maybe, just maybe, some of the candidates who have a higher likelihood of getting elected than others will take some of these organic solutions and roll them into maybe a budget line item or a piece of legislation in which they will lobby the legislature for, because that is the whole point. Don't we want things to be better? And we have to stop looking at things like pie. Well, if the Latinos and the Asians are doing better, then the blacks are going to suffer. That crabs in a barrel mentality is not going to get us anywhere. You're just going to be a crab in a barrel. There were some people that were so, I guess, misinformed that they had to manufacture a way to be against migrants. Like, oh, the migrants are going to come and take all your welfare. Why are you fighting over welfare? Fight to get off of it. Oh, goodness gracious. It makes me so angry. Now, I was raised different. I was raised and was told and was instructed, like my whole developmental environment was, you will work your ass off and you will learn how to work and you will find joy in your work and what you are able to produce. It is the most competitive thing that you can offer yourself, your friends, your family, the workforce. You will have to put in labor, and you're going to spend a disproportionate amount of time doing things that you don't like so you can have just a little bit of time doing things that you do like. And so my tolerance, especially when somebody is talented and creative but lazy, I got very low tolerance because they will want support in their lack of work ethic. I don't care if you're rich or you're poor. Everybody can have a work ethic. Everyone should be proud of whatever work they're doing. Even if you don't necessarily like what you're doing, do it better than everybody else, and I promise you somebody will notice. And I grew up with that, and that was reinforced everywhere I went. And so my perspectives, and here's the unfortunate thing, I have been called conservative. And if that makes me conservative, then I wear a C on my chest. Because I know how hard our people work and can work. I know what our people have built. Some of the most durable architecture and structures that exist in the United States wasn't built by them. Before we had computers and computer-aided drafting and all that stuff, I know what we are capable of. That should be the first thing that folks should think about black culture. But what has happened, though, over time, our work ethic has been eroded. And some of it was societal. But I know that it's there, and so I can't tolerate someone who has a tremendous skill set but will not want to put in corresponding work and labor so their skill set can be realized. When we talk about crime, there's something that is missed, and it's not the criminal. We talk about the criminal, the punishment for the criminal. My good friend, my mentor, and my colleague here at 1017 The Truth, Homer Blow, he's a pure death penalty guy. Also, be glad Homer is not governor, because Homer would kill a bunch of y'all's kids with zero remorse. Homer even said, well, they're on death row too long. Kill them quick. Well, no, Homer, you got to let them appeal, because there's innocent people on death row. We don't want them to get all murdered. And the trade-off is somebody sits on death row basically until they die in prison, until they fully exhaust the appeal process. I think the average is like 25 or 30 years. So people are on death row for a long time. But I don't think that would solve the crime problem either, because it doesn't work. In states where you have the death penalty, homicide rates are higher than states that you don't. So we focus on the criminal. What do we do? How do we have more penalties? We've got to get tough on crime, and then we will blame the judges. Remember, judges, or at least circuit court judges in Wisconsin, they are hamstrung by state law. They cannot go above whatever the statutory requirement is, or the punishment or the penalty is for that particular crime. So our members of the Wisconsin State Legislature, the upper chamber is the Senate, the lower, smaller chamber, where there are more members, is the Assembly. They create state law, and they determine and define the penalties when somebody breaks the law. And so we get tough on crime, and we want judges that are tough on crime, because I get it. We're sick of it. Some of y'all are sick of hearing gunshots. You're sick of the car thefts and the reckless driving and the robbery. Super fascinated by this story that took place on 414 Day. Somewhere off of First and National, First and Walker maybe. 14-year-old shot and killed a white fella. I'm withholding judgment until I can see the white fella's cell phone records. I don't know what was going on. They say it was a robbery attempt. I think there are 3 suspects. 1, 2, maybe all 3 of them are in custody, and I was just thinking about that in a variety of different ways, because I tend to think out of the box when I read these crime reports. So before we knew there were other individuals involved. Of course, they say it's a robbery, but we don't know who was robbing who, do we? And it made me think, just for a moment, because we focus a lot on the criminal. What do we do with the criminal? How do we rehabilitate the criminal? I had a conversation with a very smart person earlier in the week, and they have a nonprofit organization that seeks to, in so many words, reintegrate people back into society after they've served time in confinement. And there's a whole bunch of really creative programs where they, pair the inmate up with a child or their child, and the inmate and the child read books together. And we know that children that have read a certain number of books or own a certain number of books by the time they're 7 or 8 years old are much more likely to go on to higher education. So all these pieces fit together, but there's a lot of focus on how do we reintegrate people back into society. There's nonprofits and all sorts of different programs. There was even, I don't know if we still have it, but if you hired someone in the state of Wisconsin that had a criminal record, like a felony record, you could get a pretty significant tax break because you're taking a chance on hiring somebody that maybe has killed somebody. You deserve a tax break if you hire someone that's murdered. Because if you've murdered somebody, you've been to the other side. You've got that 1,000-yard stare. And a lot of times people they're sad that they murdered somebody. Our previous director of the now named Office of Community Wellness and Safety, formerly named the Office of Violence Prevention, was a killer. He didn't last, though. He didn't last. They changed the hiring requirements retroactively, and they said, oh, well, look, you can't be a killer. And they changed it some kind of way to where I think the council is now, they changed the organization of that. They did some bureaucratic stuff, the council did. Alderman Scott Spiker. Spiker or Stryker? Spiker? Whatever his name is. He's the white fellow on the south side. So Adam Procell is out, Karen Tyler is in. Shout out to Karen Tyler. But Adam Procell was a killer. If you're going to hire a killer, and here's the thing, everybody needs a killer on their team. No. Oh, hear me out. In every group, every large friend group, and I can't speak for the other races, of African-American men, you got to have a live wire. You got to have that dude that'll set it off, that'll do what nobody else in the group has the courage to do. Ain't nothing like having a killer on your team. But Adam Procell was a killer. And if you're going to hire, and he served his time. He was very remorseful. He didn't like himself when he was doing the murdering. He turned into a better person. I believe that people can be redeemed. Some people. But if you're going to hire someone who's got a criminal record, they would give you a tremendous tax break. And I'm saying all that to say we put a lot of energy, effort, and a lot of money into reinvesting in people who were formerly incarcerated. But you got to keep this dollar amount in mind. Their incarceration was really expensive, too. It's one of the many reasons why we can't have nice things in Wisconsin, because of the number of people that are incarcerated, especially if you're African American. You're something like 12 times more likely to be incarcerated in Wisconsin if you're black than if you are white. And that's like 3 or 4 times higher than the national average. It's really, really bad. At any given time, 1 in 36 black men in the state of Wisconsin are in jail or prison. When you expand that out to any African-American man who has had any kind of contact with the criminal justice system, even for misdemeanor offenses, it's something like 1 out of 2. It's just crazy. And that costs a lot of money. The criminal justice system is expensive. Lawyers, public defenders, judges salaries, judges' staff salaries, correction officers, district attorneys, assistant district attorneys. It is billions and billions of dollars. Local police, we give the Milwaukee Police Department big money, a lot of money, and we have to give them more money as time goes on because we have to have a certain number of patrol officers in the city of Milwaukee per Act 12, which is, in fact, a state law, meaning if we get to a point in Wisconsin or in Milwaukee where crime is so low that we don't need to spend or have the budgetary line item for police, we can never lay any of these cops off because state law requires us to have a certain amount of police in perpetuity, meaning the pensions that Andy called in yesterday, was complaining about, our pension obligations are going to go up because the number of police officers we have to have in the city of Milwaukee, we're not there yet. We haven't met the number, but we're going to be paying their pensions forever. And so we have more cops to hire. And so I'm saying all that to say it's incredibly expensive. It's a major, major drain on our resources. And when you have a federal government and a president that cuts money and cuts resources and cuts our tax dollars coming back to the states, and Milwaukee is getting a lower share of its shared revenue, you can see the financial strain. And here's how it filters down. Your rims are busted on your car because we ain't got the money to pay at the potholes because we spend so much money on incarceration and corrections and reintegration, but we barely spend a penny on victims. What we spend to help someone who has committed an egregious crime in some cases. They get health care, we feed them, we clothe them, we're supposed to treat them humanely. Sometimes they die in prison. I guess that comes with the territory. But their confinement is expensive. Running a jail or a prison is expensive. The staff in a jail or prison is expensive. The maintenance of the building, you got to cut the grass, you got to make repairs, you got to have all the food service. It's very expensive. You got to have doctors and nurses and psychiatrists and all sorts of support staff. You got to have computers and technology. Just think about the cost of operating a prison. And we invest a lot of money in these folks, and then when we reintegrate them back into society, that costs a bunch of money too, but victims are just left to suffer and toil. I don't like that. I like balance. You would think I was a Libra. Libra, probably the worst zodiac sign. Libra, Aries, nobody likes an Aquarius. Virgos are cool. Sagittarius can't sit still. Other than that, I guess the rest of them are okay. But we don't have any balance. And we'll say something like, oh, well, the offender has to pay restitution to the victim. The offender doesn't have any money, and the likelihood they'll be able to pay the victim is first of all, it's insane. But the offender gets so many resources and so many opportunities and so many organizations and nonprofits dedicated to their success. But we have all these victims out here, and here's the problem that I think that we are missing. I'm going to take a break, come back, and get back into it. Then the victims become the offenders. We don't think about that. Somebody's only going to get victimized so many times until they pick up the gun because they realize, oh, society doesn't care about me. I got screwed over. I got harmed. I got hurt. Someone tried to take my life. Somebody assaulted me, and nobody is doing anything for me. Nobody is helping me. I'm not getting any resources. There's no nonprofit organizations dedicated to my help and salvation. I'm just going to go pick up a gun myself and join the criminal party because then at least I'll have some resources to help reintegrate me into society. It makes zero sense. It is so incredibly one-sided. That situation where the 14-year-old shot the white fella, do we know if that white fella was trying to buy dope? I'm always curious. I'm not saying he was, but a lot of times they are. It's not always the case, but when it is the case, it's the case. I'm going to leave you with a thought before I take a break. What if that 14-year-old shot in self-defense? No. You mean a 14-year-old can't defend themselves? So at what age can you defend yourself? No, I want you to really think about that. At what age is it okay for you to defend yourself? What, you got to be 18 to defend yourself? Children are our most vulnerable, and we don't really protect them. They had a whole island where they took kids, so we can admit. So what if children just feel generally unsafe? Oh, how does a 13 or a 14-year-old get a gun? What if they're getting bullied? A 9mm to your face will change the dynamic quickly. I'm not saying you should do that, but you can't be messing with people like that. You never know how somebody might respond. You know what I mean? But at what age can you start to defend yourself? Now, it's not legal for a 14-year-old to have a gun, but what are they going to do? What's legal for them to carry to defend themselves? Or do we just say, children, just take whatever harm and abuse is coming your way because you're too young to defend yourself. So give that a little thought. I'm going to take a little pause for the cause and come on back. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'll be back shortly.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
May is Skilled Trades Month, a time to celebrate the hands-on careers that keep our industries and our communities moving forward. At Junior Achievement, students are discovering that today's skilled trades include technology, robotics, and smart manufacturing. With support from Rockwell Automation, students are exploring how advanced manufacturing and automation will power the factories of the future. Thank you, Rockwell, for helping inspire the next generation of technicians, engineers, and innovators. Learn more at ja.org.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. Skip the sterile clinical office feel. Sweet Talk stays on the cutting edge of beauty and wellness innovations in a vibrant, playful space promoting self-love and confidence. Sweet Talk specializes in a range of treatments including injectables, medical-grade skincare, weight loss, hormone therapies, and more. Not sure where to start? Sweet Talks offers comprehensive wellness consultations to create a customized plan centered around you. Because at Sweet Talks, your goals are their goals. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family and help out in your community. You've been there for so many others. But when life challenges you, when rising costs, unexpected repairs, medical bills, or simply a rough stretch make it hard to keep up on a limited or low income, you're not alone. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are here for you, working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. If you're struggling with high utility bills, facing a disconnect notice, or dealing with a furnace emergency and your limited or low income isn't enough, support is available. Visit www.heat.help or call 1-800-506-5596 to apply for a hand up.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Is it happening? I keep looking for a different thing. While the center starts to pull me in. Is it worth it? Darling, I'm ignoring what I used to know, watching everywhere I used to go, feeling everything begin to slow right here.
Matthew says, I'm going to drive to Gurney to save 20% on bud instead of walking up the street. Bro, this is the worst take of all time. You don't got to drive to Gurney to find a dispensary. They're literally right when you hop across the state line. And what's available, if you're talking about the dispensaries that are here, they're not real dispensaries because that's Delta 8 and Delta 9. That's a derivative of hemp. If you're into that, by all means, you dope fiend. Stuff ain't real. Stuff will make you sick, give you a headache. Delta 10 is the real stuff. For those that are interested. Actually, you ever smoked weed before?
I just discovered weed like a couple years ago, but no, I never smoked it before in my life.
How you just going to discover it a couple years ago and then say you never smoked it?
Well, I was watching the movie Cheech and Chong.
Okay.
And I was like, what is this stuff that they're smoking? And yeah.
All right. I'm not going to ask you about cocaine, man.
Never
tried
it.
Never tried a little toot? Little tootski?
No, never in my life.
All right. I'm not trying to dig in your business. I'm just, because I don't care. Nobody cares.
Oh, yeah. No, I would tell you. I honestly have never heard of marijuana until
Well, now I know
watched
you're
Cheech and Chong.
just lying. All right. What about mushrooms?
I learned about that in Cheech and Chong as well.
All right. LSD, any of that? MDMA?
All those drugs were all in the Cheech and Chong movie.
Of all of them, MDMA scares me more than anything else. So it got real popular. So I grew up in like this collision of all these different cultures. Raves were very popular. Underground parties in big warehouses out in the middle of nowhere. Let's grab a phone call. I'll just grab it. Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi,
man.
Sean.
Hey, Sandra. How are you?
I'm just fine. How are you doing?
Good. Sandra, you ever smoked marijuana before?
Yep.
Okay. No, you may proceed.
Actually, I tried it. I mean, it makes you silly and goofy.
Imagine that.
In fact, I'm going to tell you something else. Well, I was kind of like in the reserve, and a lot of the military people smoke it.
Well, you
and
were
probably a lot of our politicians smoke it.
You were in the military? I didn't know that.
I was in the reserve.
That's still the military.
For a while.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, it's the military.
So you was in the military
you're
serving
welcome.
your country and getting high as a giraffe's vagina. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I tried it, but I just said, it's not for me. Only thing I need is the air I breathe. Go out here and see nature, and I'm happy.
Fair enough.
And I can move on, yes, but there's a lot of people do it. Like I said, a lot of people you don't suspect do it. They don't say it, but as long as you know how it goes, maybe one day it'll be legalized. And then I can make some money. But anyways, I heard you talking about the crime. And I'm real, I'm sensitive anyways because I told you about how my son had to deal with it and how he died in prison and the solitary confinement, the mental institutions, the supermax. I mean, this is all one person. I'm sitting up here sitting on your hands behind your back just like George Floyd. You're tied up, all the security. So, I mean, why you got to go through all of this? Just like a man with his hands behind his back, his feet tied up, that they can really do harm. But it's just kind of silly, and it just makes me sick because when I have to hear the crime and I look at statistics of the state, 37% of black men are in prison. And if it's only 6% of us here, how can you have almost half black population in prison? But I think I don't like the death penalty. That I don't like because, like you said, they keep them going because they try to fight it up until like 25 years. And I'm not stunted because I'm a mother. I carried my baby for 9 months. I tried to raise them till they got grown. But I just can't see just being blatantly, outright say, we got to kill them because they got to go to trial first. Anyhow, be proven to have done the crime. So only thing I get disgusted because the money. I think we can help people, and I don't think I think crime is a way to produce money for judges, polices, and then you make rules for them to stay in place. And some of the, like I say, the big authorities that got to be policed over the police. I mean, they make like $10,000 a month. Now we got to pay all of this, and we holler about money.
Makes sense to me.
So I just can't see. I think we can work it out, but people don't. I don't think they got to have prisons. They got to have judges. I think if we just try to eliminate some of those jobs like our jobs to get eliminated, I just saw Meta and that Zuckerberg and them laying off a bunch of people. And one more thing I'm going to say before I hang up. I don't like the fact that they want us to do everything for free. Get out there and clean up everybody's property. Do it for free. Care about your... How you going to clean up everybody's property? I said, if we got raggedy roads, why don't you send an overseer out? And then they use the cheapest products. You can buy just like cheap fabrics you get over from China and stuff. Buttons fall off, zippers fall off. And that cheap wood they making the houses with, I don't want to put that mess on nothing. Okay, Sherman.
Thank you.
I said that to you. Okay, bye.
All right, then. That's what I want to be like when I'm 77. Just complain. Just get mad. Why they using all the cheap stuff? The cheap. Milwaukee doesn't have any money. You know, if I personified the city of Milwaukee, Milwaukee is a somewhat attractive, she's got some weight to lose, black woman with a lace front, but she's got white friends, an associate's degree, and a reasonably good job, and a bunch of illegitimate, poorly behaved kids. If Milwaukee was a woman, that's what she would be. The parts, like, she can get all glamoury and glitzy, like she'll go out with a rich white dude every now and again, but she also likes to play in the hood. She's smart, but she doesn't really know how to apply herself. She grew up with a lot of disadvantage. She's changing. She's changing for the better. She's learning. She's progressing through life. She's healing. But when you think of the city of Milwaukee as like this single black woman with 3 kids with 3 different baby daddies who maybe makes $55,000 a year, a lot of the stuff that she is going to buy is what she can afford, and a lot of that is going to be cheap. And I'm not saying anything negative about a black woman with 3 illegitimate kids with a lace front who can glitz it up and glam it up and likes to go out and get bottle service and likes to do fine dining downtown and then has a bunch of really cool white friends. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if I was to personify this city, that's pretty much what it is. We only display class and sophistication on occasion. And if you look at the overall geography of our city that is classy and sophisticated, it's very, very small. We're an old school, blue-collar town that is trying to adjust to the new world of information technology and artificial intelligence. We don't really know where we fit in. But we're really cool. We're fun at parties. You put a Milwaukee person in a room in a social event anywhere in the country, and we're going to stand out. So I love us very much, including all of our dysfunction and our really weird music and way of dancing. I love it. It's very uniquely us. It's very simple. Nothing too complicated about it, but you got to love the simplicity of an upper Midwestern, hyper-segregated with extreme amounts of poverty kind of city that has holes in the streets because of the snow and the winter and the freezing and the thawing. That's just, you know what I mean? That's just kind of what we are.
You're not a certified trapper fan?
I saw him perform at the rave.
Good performance, huh?
I didn't understand it.
Oh, you didn't?
Mm-mm. It was him and I can't think of what this dude's name was. I'll have to look it up.
Aioli?
No, it was some other fancy person that the kids know. We're going to talk about, there's a big show at the rave. I want to save that for the Milwaukee experience. Tech Nine and E-Feasible Belafonte Bellagio Bellwether is coming. E40. That's the name. E-Feasible Belafonte Bellagio Bellwether is coming. I might go to that show. Somebody had mentioned the Milwaukee food influencer named Lil Walkie. So we saw her at Carnivore one night, and she's a big food influencer in the city. Like if she reviews a restaurant, like Rupina's has chicken salad. She reviewed Rupina's chicken salad, and now they can't keep it in stock. So she's a big deal as far as food influencers go. I invited her on the show, actually. I invited her to be here today. But I guess I'm not big enough for her. Whatever. So she was at Carnivore one night with a bunch of her friends. And I was there with a bunch of my guys, and we were a mess. Like, we all should have went home by like 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and we stayed way past that. So we saw her, and then Omar, who's the proprietor here at the 3rd Street Market Hall, Omar Sheikh, who also owns Carnivore. Omar was sitting over there because there's a bunch of food influencers that were there, and Omar had to make sure everything was perfect. And I don't blame him, because if a food influencer has somewhat of a mediocre experience in your establishment, it is going to hurt your sales and hurt your reputation. So Omar is over there, showing out, making sure that they're getting perfect. Like, he's sitting at the table with these food influencers. And me and my guys was like, let's mess with Omar. So we sent him the most feminine wine that Carnivore has on their menu. We sent him like a rosé, Chablis, Chardonnay, something. And for some reason, we thought that was funny because we told the server to go and bring this glass of very feminine wine over to Omar while he was being a big old tough guy in front of these food influencers. And we thought it was very funny. But anyway, Milwaukee was sitting over there with Omar that night at Carnivore. Someone inquired in the YouTube chat about the best steak restaurant in Milwaukee. I'm loyal. I would say Moe's, but I'm loyal and I'm biased. But Carnivore is up there. It's just so expensive. If I say something is expensive, you gotta like make decisions. Like it's so expensive, you gotta like move money around type thing. I don't want to have to move money around. Moe's ain't cheap either, but what you get for your money, you really can't get anywhere else. Carnivore is also like I don't want to pay to be seen. Like people want to be seen at Carnivore. I don't want no one to see me, so I don't want to pay. But it's trendy. It's a little bit younger. Food is good. It's cool. They had, they had these little potatoes that they served, this little appetizer with caviar on them. You wouldn't think that would be good. I wanted to punch somebody. Them jokers were so good. But yeah, Carnivore is up there. If you want to have a good meal at Carnivore, you're spending $200. Easy. So
with two people?
No. It depends on how much you drink. If you don't drink, you probably can cut your bill about 25 or 30%. But pairing some of those steak selections with a good red, I'm a fan of Camus. The older, the better. Not necessarily the same with women, though. I don't necessarily say. But no, old women are getting better. They are now. It's some 50-year-old women that brought their asses with them from the 70s. Like the ass stayed intact through several presidential administrations. I don't know how they do it. It must be
it's just working out.
It's got to be. Some of it is genetic though too, because sometimes you can work out a lot and just have just no ass. I don't need a gigantic one. BBLs. I don't like those. That's not for me. But shout out to the people that have them. It's just not for me. I like a little toned, just round. I need round. As long as it's round. I like, you know what I mean?
Oh, you don't like it big?
No. No, not too huge. And I shouldn't say this. I'm getting explicit. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, join the Milwaukee County Office of Equity on Saturday, April 25th at 10 a.m. for the Story of Wealth exhibition at the Wisconsin Black Historical Society. Discover how policies have shaped financial opportunities in Milwaukee and learn how we can break down barriers to success. Hear from a panel including keynote speaker James J.B. Bell. This event is free to attend with food provided, door prizes, and great music, so make sure you get there early. Still think you're going to use those old chemicals just sitting around under the sink, in the garage, or down in the basement? We're talking things like old antifreeze, paint thinners, batteries, propane cylinders, and pesticides. So don't let them sit there. Get rid of them right away. To MMSD's Home Hazmat Drop-Off Centers. It's safe, it's easy, and it's open to all Milwaukee County residents. There are 3 locations open year-round. Let's clean up Milwaukee.
Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
So altogether, you're looking at $1,780 for your mortgage and for your property taxes in a year. And that's before you have to deal with, obviously, your water bill and electric bill. That's a steep price that people have to pay. And based off those numbers I just ran, to afford a home like that, you got to make $65,000 a year. But the problem is, here in Milwaukee, the median household income is only $54,234. That's out of whack. So again, I am all about affordability. I'm all about people getting homes. But what we have to understand is that until homes are more affordable, you can have a supply and demand problem. But the problem that we have here in the city of Milwaukee is that these prices, when people are listing these houses, they're listing them for prices that people really can't afford. And even if you do get the house and you're paying that, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is not about living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is about finding something that fits within your budget and building equity for the future.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Thank you. Far too kind. Woo. Yeah. Ready? Woo. Let's go. Can I get an encore?
Persons in households below $25,000 of annual income experience violent victimization at rates several times higher than households above $50,000. So you cannot talk about crime and poverty without looking at victims. Poor people are more likely to be victims. We want to put poor people in a category of offenders. And yes, they are offenders, but it's way more likely that somebody's going to victimize them or take advantage of them. Low-income neighborhoods have high rates of robbery, assault, burglary, and homicide. Think about this. One person, a single human being, can rob 3 people at gunpoint. That's 3 victims. They can assault 2 more people. That's 5 victims. They can break into a house where 5 people live. That's 10 victims. Remember, this is one person that has just victimized 10 people. And they commit a homicide. That is 11 offenses, technically. 11 people were harmed by one person. So when you look at how we look at and measure crime, look at the trail of victims. One person can steal 10 cars. And one of those vehicles was shared by a husband and a wife, so that one car produced 2 victims. But we look at just what the criminal did, and we base our crime rates off of what the offender did, not how the victims were harmed. So you have to look at it in a different perspective. One person, there's a new Kia Boys documentary, but this one is in Detroit, where these Kia Boys are bragging about how many cars they've stolen. This guy stole 70. This guy stole 90. This guy stole 115 cars. Just think about that. It's 3 people very easily could be responsible for stealing 300 cars. That's 3 human beings responsible for 300 or more auto thefts. Look at how the number of victims of our auto theft are exponentially higher than the number of offenders. So when you look at crime and poverty, look at the people that are victimized. And it's usually people that have the least that suffer the most when it comes to criminal behavior. Persons in households below $25,000 in annual income experience violent victimization at rates several times higher than households above $50,000. Low-income neighborhoods have higher robbery, assault, burglary, and homicide rates. Youth raised in persistent poverty have higher later arrests and incarceration risks. There was a story which I clicked on the link, but I think it was behind a paywall. But I think we don't have a paywall in our studio computer. That there was a fight at Vincent High School. So what? Why do fights make the news? I went to Browndale High School, and we'd have different themed theme days during homecoming, right? So, well, I don't know, one day you wear your pajamas to work. One day, I don't know, you wear funny-looking shoes, whatever the hell we would do. So one day we had Bandana Day. Not kidding you. If you remember this, if you were at Browndale High School, this must have been, I think I was in 10th grade, so 90 or 91, we had Bandana Day. And everybody back in the day had a bandana. So a lot of the boys, myself included, wore either red or blue bandanas. You got to keep in mind at the time, the Crips and the Bloods were a very real thing at the time. This is 4 years before the 1994 crime bill. So Crips and Bloods were a very real thing. But there was no real Crips and Bloods at Brown Deer. So some of the boys wore blue bandanas. Some of the boys wore red bandanas. And we actually thought, even though it's just a theme day during homecoming week, let me show you how stupid high school boys are. We thought we were actual Crips and Bloods. And after school, we all fought. It was just, like, we didn't try to kill each other. It was like, yeah, we finna meet them Bloods after school. And we fought in the front, like right outside the front entrance at Browndale High School. It was like 50 on 50. It was so funny. And no news trucks came. Who cares? Nobody. We just had the superintendent on yesterday, and I think she... Let me give her credit for giving the best answers that she could, because she's accountable to so many people. And when she speaks publicly, she's held to a standard that most people are not. Like, elected officials can come on my show and just lie. They can just predict stuff and make stuff up. She has to be held accountable because the MPS school board can terminate her contract whenever they want. The teachers union can make their whole pitch for organizing around her and what she says and what Brenda Cacilia stands for. So she was as thorough as suppose she could have been. Like, she kind of danced a little bit around some of the questions, because giving the right answer and giving the answer that she probably wanted to give would have gotten her contract terminated, because she knows how terrible some of these kids are, but she can't say that. I bet she goes into work some days like, what these little bastards over at Custer do today? What'd they do? Give a public school teacher a couple of brandy old fashions, because nobody drinks like a public school teacher, unless you're a firefighter. If you put 20 firefighters up against 20 police officers, the firefighters would kick the cops' asses so bad you would think the fight wasn't fair. That's just how it is. And the firefighters will do it drunk. There's superhuman human beings. They're probably going to make a lot of people very...
I feel like you have a crush on firefighters.
I kind of do.
Every episode.
They run into danger. Cops are like, I need backup. I don't want... No! Who's in there? I need 40 of my friends. A firefighter's like, I'll go into this building and save everyone. Fire is very hot. It's uncomfortably hot. It is. And if it's not controlled, it kills everything. The firefighter's like, light work. Let's put a little water on it. Cops are like, no. Come out with your hands up, way up, and twerk a little bit. You ever seen a bike cop and how short their shorts are? Come on. Their bike cop shorts are so short. They are showing a little bit of cheek. Not a lot of cheek, but just enough cheek to keep you interested.
The Uvalde cops is all I needed to see.
Exactly. I don't want to hit. What is he shooting? Oh, selfie. Uvalde cop was just like making a duck face.
Didn't he take? Am I tripping, or did that actually happen? He took a selfie.
I don't know if he did. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
He got in big trouble. I think they canned him and tried to sue him and tried to put him in jail. Was I going somewhere with comparing the cops and the firefighters? Did I have a point I was making?
You're just saying cops. I mean, you were saying firefighters are superior to cops.
Yeah, they are, because they run into the danger. They don't so when you hear like a 2-alarm fire or a 3-alarm fire, that means that the fire is so big. Like, then they call for backup. Like, oh, this fire has spread to the whole block. Let's call another engine. The cops would be like, I need backup before I get there. No, if there's still people in that building, I'm just going to stay in my squad. I know the cops is mad at me.
Well, aren't they taught everything's a threat? That's why after they shoot someone 20 times, they still put handcuffs on them and, shout commands at them.
Isn't that crazy? Someone will be absolutely dead. Drop the gun! Blood coming out of their mouth. No pulse, no heartbeat. Brains blown up. They still got the gun. Shoot them 14 times. I got to take a break because look at the time. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
Did you go along with this? Did you plot this out? Did you go into the store with the intentions of causing a negative situation? This is the part that people don't like once they get into court after they get caught. Now, should he be executed for killing somebody he didn't do? I don't think so. He's already serving life. He's going to die in prison. I think that's what's going to happen. At the same time, this is a message to the younger folks.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Are you planning a special event? Do you need a personal chef? Either way, make it tasteful. I'm Alicia the Chef, owner of Tasteful Events Catering, and we create customized food experiences for any occasion. We bring quality, flavor, and professionalism to every table. Whether it's a special event or everyday meal solutions, we focus on delivering more than just food. We create experiences. Book today or learn more online at www.tastefuleventscatering.com.
Prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
There are more poor white Americans in total number than poor black Americans. And because whites are a much larger share of the U.S. population, they simply commit more crime. When measured per 100,000 people in poverty, black Americans are often overrepresented in violent crime, arrests, and victimization data relative to poor whites. This does not prove race causes crime. It usually reflects higher exposure to concentrated urban poverty, higher neighborhood segregation, more historical disinvestment, younger age structures, more violent victimization exposure, differential policing intensity, illegal market concentration, and trauma cycles. All of that describe parts of the black community of Milwaukee. All of it. Every one of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. Impoverished blacks or whites, who commits more crime? Violent crime, homicide, robbery, and assault per capita among the poor. Poor black populations generally show higher official rates than poor white populations, however. Now you got to remember, the overwhelming majority of crime is intra-racial. I have some information here when it comes to certain crime categories that kind of contradicts that a little bit. Well, here, I can't keep a secret for nothing. Black people kill more white people than white people kill us as far as homicide goes. White people that control institutional structures can have disproportionate harm on like black women's maternal health, and where we live historically is closer to highways and freeways where there's more exhaust and there's higher rates of asthma in the black community. We have lower healthcare investment, but raw homicides, it's actually kind of bad. We kill the percentages of white people that kill black people. They don't kill us. They don't murder us. They make our lives inconvenient in other ways. But when you look at just raw homicide, which is what everybody is concerned about, we don't look at the other ways in which structures and institutions are racially biased. They can harm black people. But as far as homicides go, white people are not murdering us. I would think that they would murder more of us. Percentage-wise, I read that and I was like, should I even bring this up on the air? Because I want to hang on to my handful of white listeners. I don't want them to think that us blacks are all murderers. Well, here's the thing. Can I just say this? Well, what did the white person do to get themselves murdered? That's a legitimate question. Like, were you in the dope house, sir or madam? Because there's some places where I would recommend you just not go. And the Caucasians, God bless them, they'll jump in the enclosure to pet the polar bear. But he's just a Coca-Cola bear. And polar bears are the most ferocious bears. They're terrible. And they have this sense of entitlement to where, and it must be nice, where they feel safe or they just don't feel threatened no matter where they go.
Post-traumatic slave owner syndrome?
Not, most white folks didn't own slaves. That's a fallacy. Most white folks were absolutely broke. I posted this. It's a whole separate category, but cannibal sandwiches. Y'all are disgusting. You're subhuman. I'm reading this post where it is rage bait, obviously. Oh, if you're from Wisconsin, have you eaten a cannibal sandwich? Which is raw ground meat, raw, on a piece of rye bread, raw onion, salt and pepper. And I'm reading the comments and I physically got nauseous. One guy was like, oh, not only do I eat cannibal sandwiches, when I grill sirloin steaks, I cut off a little bit of the sirloin and I nibble on it while I'm preparing my sirloin steaks to be grilled. Then why are you grilling a steak? You're a bunch of cannibals. And yes, I believe all the stories where you guys used to eat black people because black people are probably delicious. We're already seasoned. I got to take a break. We're coming back with the Milwaukee Experience. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Milwaukee business owners, this is your moment. Every Friday at 8 a.m., call in to 101.7 The Truth for What the Business Is. Tell us what your business is, where you're located, and one thing you've learned along the way. What the Business is powered by We Energies, delivering the energy that powers local business. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth.
coming with straight truth.
We can do anything when it comes to being organized, when it comes to making sure that we're active, when it comes to making sure that we're holding people accountable and making sure that we get something out of the deal. Y'all don't know how to make deals. Y'all mad at Donald J. Trump because he's trying to make deals or trying to say that he's the master of the art of the deal. Well, okay, what deals is you trying to make?
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day. Too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
As parents, we have a million things running through our minds. Playdates, checkups, groceries, laundry, diapers, work, carpool schedules, picture day, swim team, did we mention diapers, birthday parties, meal prep, lost permission slips, dentist appointments, and the dog that still needs to be walked. So it's easy to make a mistake. Oh, I forgot birthday candles. Sit tight, hon, I'll be right back. We say we'd never put our kids in danger by leaving them in the car alone. Oh, wait, since when are candles not on the baking aisle? But never happens. And temperatures as low as 60 degrees can be deadly for children left behind. So always bring them with you, and every time you park the car, stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, and it is Friday. And every Friday at 11 a.m., we do a segment sponsored by our good friends over at Visit Milwaukee. For more information about all of the wonderful things happening in a great city by a great lake, go to visitmilwaukee.org. Got a weekend chock full of things to do if you want to get out and about and explore. Let's start with some events taking place at the Italian Community Center on a Sunday Fun Day. The ICC is hosting a Sunday Fun Day, offering a taste of Italy with a twist. The event features fine Italian food and drinks, along with all sorts of activities like pasta making, things for the kids, cultural exhibits, and Italian card games. And of course, the Milwaukee Brewers are back at home at American Family Field to play the Pittsburgh Pirates. Fans can attend Star Wars Night, which is tonight, and the team is hosting a windbreaker giveaway on Saturday. For theater fans, Frozen the Musical is running at the First Stage Milwaukee inside the Marcus Center, and that goes through May 17th. The production features two sisters from Waukesha who are part of the Fire cast, playing the roles of young Anna and Elsa. The Milwaukee Film Festival is still going on, and if you don't know, there is a recognized by the Academy segmentation of the Milwaukee Film Festival called Black Lens. And the Black Lens program is a collection of films that are produced, directed, shot, and casted by African Americans, and it highlights the incredible talent of African American filmmakers. The film that they are highlighting is the Black Lens short documentary, It Takes a Village. It's a collection of nonfiction short films that depict a powerful and underground look at the real world, from the forest filled with camping teenagers and a vital beekeeping lesson to a drive-in in Gainesville, Florida. These films offer sincere, bite-sized looks at some of the many realities and lived experiences that come with being black in America. Go to mkefilm.org. That is mkefilm.org to get your showtimes at the Oriental Theater for the Black Lens documentary shorts. And there will be several film directors and writers available for talkbacks after the showing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never been on a cruise. I have not. Because you got to fly to a port city, so you got to get the airfare, and you got to get on the ship, and then it's just the whole thing. For the people that go on cruises, that love them, God bless you. But I've also seen some of the social media footage of what you all do on Carnival cruises, and it's not for me. But the inconvenience of having to fly to another place across the country to get on the ship, and then you go on your cruise, and then you got to go back to the port city and take another airplane home. Did you guys know that we have an overwhelming number of cruises that come to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and port right here? See, I didn't know that either, X. On a warm and sunny spring morning this week, Milwaukee kicked off its busiest cruise ship season ever. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not kidding you. We have a cruise ship season in the city of Milwaukee. Allow me to explain. The Viking Polaris, the biggest Great Lakes cruise ship, called at port, Milwaukee's heavy lift dock, shortly before 11 a.m. yesterday. As the 300 passengers disembarked, ending a 6-day journey that began in Toronto, Visit Milwaukee volunteer Adam Eric greeted them with customary Milwaukee culture. The Polaris was the first of, get this, 64 cruise ships that will visit Milwaukee between April and October of 2026, nearly triple the 23 vessels the city welcomed just last year. So not only are we a cruise city, a cruise port city, you can leave to go on a cruise from the city of Milwaukee, and they'll go to places in Canada like Toronto and sail to different places along the Great Lakes route, Muskegon, Michigan, and a whole bunch of other places. Like, there's a bunch of cruises that you can take right here from Milwaukee. And I'm not including the Lake Express, which is the ferry that you get on if you want to go over to Michigan. I'm talking about legitimate cruises. I'm looking at a picture of this cruise ship. It's gigantic. Those 64 ships that Milwaukee will welcome this cruise season will carry better than 20,000 passengers to the city of Milwaukee this year. That's double, nearly double at least, the 11,250 passengers the city saw last year. In terms of economic activity, this is a segment of travelers and tourists that we never even consider. Their economic impact is better than $3.5 million that they spend here locally when they port here in the city of Milwaukee. Port director Benji Tim attributed the surge to rising interest in the Great Lakes region, including Milwaukee, as a cruise destination. 2 of the visiting ships are part of the American Cruise Line's newly launched Great Lakes itineraries, with 2 of the 3 new itineraries departing from our city of Milwaukee. I'm seriously thinking about going on a cruise. These 2 new cruise lines will sail from Milwaukee starting this year. American Cruise Lines is launching 3 Great Lakes cruise lines come 2026, 2 of which will depart from Milwaukee, according to USA Today. So this is making national news. Though the new lines will be the company's first Great Lake ventures, American Cruise Lines already sails ships around the country with a focus on domestic itineraries and American-built ships. Guests have long asked for our style of cruising on the lake, said Charles B. Robertson, the president and CEO of American Cruise Lines. We are now proud to offer these cruises as only Americans can aboard a new sailing ship that is 100% domestic. So for any of you that are curious about cruising, like I most certainly am, you don't have to go down to Miami or go to Tampa or St. Petersburg to get on your cruise ship. You can cruise right from the city of Milwaukee. For you hip-hop fans, boy, do we have a treat for you. X said the prices are very expensive. Yeah, but, you know, people got money nowadays.
$20,000.
$20,000? Wait a minute!
$6,000 for the cheapest one.
Hold on, man. You better get a Groupon. That's that. Okay, well, good. No, leaving from Milwaukee.
Yeah, you intrigued me, and I did a little research, and the cheapest ticket is almost $7,000.
Maybe you should do a little more bargain shopping. Maybe.
And it's sold out.
See there? Must be something special about it. Tomorrow night, the Strange With It Tour 2026 featuring Tech Nine and hip-hop virtuoso E-Feasible Belafonte Bellwether Belagiano, better known as E40. That is tomorrow at the Rave at 24th and Wisconsin. Tech Nine and E40 bring two very different but equally iconic styles of hip-hop to the spectacular Eagles Ballroom stage Saturday, April 25th. Tech Nine, known for his lightning-fast delivery, sharp lyricism, and explosive live shows that have built one of the most loyal fan bases in rap. Hear, hear. His high-energy performances and rapid-fire flow make every set feel intense from start to finish. Bay Area legend E40 brings the swagger and unmistakable slang that helped shape West Coast rap with decades of hits and larger-than-life personality. E-Feasible knows how to keep a crowd moving. So that is tomorrow night at the Rave. I think I might check that show out. Well, I'm looking at Holland America, and they have cruises starting at $5.99, with Milwaukee being some of their destinations. What's this one here? The Great Lakes Treasures. Sail the vast waterways of the Great Lakes and the largest freshwater system in the world. Explore the picturesque islands of the Georgian Bay Biosphere Reserve and admire the bucolic landscapes. My. Venture out to Flower Pot Island in the Fathom 5 National Marine Park and marvel at the stunning pink granite isles of Benjamin Islands. Participate in lab studies as you explore coastal wetlands and delve into the native cultures of the American Great Lakes. $25 deposit on these cruises, right? That's not so bad. You don't got to spend $10,000 on the cruises. But the fact that we have all of these destinations that you can depart and go to from Milwaukee, and we're going to have better than 20,000 cruise ship travelers disembarking here in the city of Milwaukee with an almost $4 million economic impact, means that Milwaukee is offering more things to more people every single year. This has been your Milwaukee Experience. Your host, Sherwin Hughes. For more information about all the things going on in this great city on a Great Lake, go to visitmilwaukee.org. That is visitmilwaukee.org. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I travel all around the world, Dr. Ken, and when I tell you, based on my experiences, this is like the number one country that cares. Like, everything is about money. Yep. Everything.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
I've told people in the past, you have to be careful of what you complain about and what you use as a tool, because other people will take it and use it in the wrong way.
Sundays starting at 7 on 620 WTMJ and Mondays at 6 on 1017 The Truth.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we don't leave success to chance. We're designed for it. With strong support, high expectations, and a team committed to excellence, our educators turn belief into outcomes every day. If you believe every child deserves an excellent education, join Milwaukee College Prep. Apply today. Visit mkeprep.com/jobs.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Per capita among the poor, black populations generally show higher official rates than poor white populations. But for some reason, white people make it their business when black people commit crimes, knowing, honestly and statistically, when we commit crimes, it's with and among one another, because of proximity. But when you think about it, though, isn't that more of a reason to maintain segregation? Especially when I get to the homicide numbers. Now, the vast majority of homicides are intra-racial. Whites love to kill the whites. They're very good at it, too. They're very creative. Black people, for the most part, we kill the blacks because they're close. But when you look at interracial homicide rates, black people kill more white people. We just... it's pretty significant. It might be overinflated that white people kill us disproportionately. Homicides. I mean, like going into a black neighborhood and shooting black people. They don't do it that way. And also, that's kind of a primitive way to kill somebody. Do it structurally. Don't invest in health care. Have racial bias impact how a nurse treats a black pregnant mama. Those are ways in which they can impact, but they're not measured the same. That's why I want us to know more about our health, because when you know more about your health, then you know when you might be getting taken advantage of or given poor health care advice. Like when you know a lot about a car. Let's grab Al real quick. Hey, Al.
What's good? How you doing?
I don't know. That depends. Depends on what you're gonna lay on us today.
Well, first of all, I need your approval to say something to make this point here, if you don't mind. Now, you said that black people kill white people more. Okay, I'm gonna say this
Al,
from the bottom of my heart.
you're not gonna wait for my approval? What if I don't approve it?
Well, I'll let you say. Well, say yes or no.
Al, don't put me in this situation because you're going to make me responsible for what you might say, and I don't want to be in that situation. Are you going to use profanity?
It's going to be a little, but it's going to be the truth.
Hold on, Al. Does it talk about Republican buttholes at all? Anybody's butthole?
Nope.
No? Oh, okay. Nope. Is it going to talk about any kind of prostitution or selling of cat?
No.
So why don't I just remain in the middle? I'm going to let you say what you have to say, and if it goes too far,
okay, good.
Please be careful, though.
Okay. Sure. Well, first of all, black people don't kill white people more. Niggas kill white people. Because black people will only kill a white person when it comes to self-preservation of self or to protect their family. Because black people ain't even messing with white people like that. So we want to clear that out. Because, see, white people are listening to that. Woo! I told you so. No. See, because black people don't even mess with y'all like that. Okay, so we want to clear that up. And from history, they done already got that beat. Now I'm gonna move forward. You brought up about the single mother with 3 baby daddies.
Yes.
Here is the real question we need to be asking these mothers because the kids are innocent. Why do you choose to keep effing the help? Okay, there is no benefit of having a wet ass and a vagina full of nut. You hear me? And then you got to think about this. With a failing credit score, you're not getting that out of it. You're just being used as a toilet with a failing credit score. There's no benefit. And when you look at it, and this is why we got to put it out there, it tears away at the woman's soul and her body. And I say this from the bottom of my heart. Sometimes you're better off just sucking it and jagging it off, okay? And the reason why I say that, because here's the benefit. You won't get no stress marks from that. Now, it might open up potential risk of having a sore throat, but your body will still be intact. So we just have to tell these women, be a little careful. Every man you see, you don't gotta F them, and every man don't gotta use that Thundercat as a vessel and a toilet. Okay? Sometimes let it go on the floor. Sometimes just let it go in your hand. It doesn't have to go in the inner soul of your vessel. Because, see, all DNAs doesn't mix. That's why sometimes your body itch. That's why sometimes your nerves itch. Because sometimes it could be some in that bloodline that doesn't fit with your spirit. So sometimes just use a little grease of olive oil and just rub it in your hands with the 2 hands and twist to keep it moving forward. And the last thing I want to say to my older brothers out here, y'all got to do something about this weed, okay? Y'all got to do something because you're smelling like ass and crack. And ain't nothing sexy smelling like ass and crack. And that's worse than a gas station incident. Y'all just coming out here reeking. And then on top of that, you brought up earlier, have you ever noticed when you see heavy weed smokers, their lips look like a wore-out clitoris? Like the clitoris been ran up on too many big, long Donkey Kong, King Kong penises. The lips be wore out. They be heavy black. So I'm just sharing this with the listeners. Y'all got to do something about that, my brothers. Because smelling like, I'm talking about the crack, the kind they put in the straight shooter. And they burn over the silver spoons because all the spoons come in the house and missing, and you can't find none of the steel wool or the SOS bed because they put in the crack pipe. And when that heavy white smoke clear the whole house, that's what they smelling like. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to see that, and you gotta reach out to these black women. Every man you see, you don't have to F them. You don't. And stop letting them nut in you because they don't have the credit score to get you where you need to go. Now, I want y'all to have yourself a good day. Make sure you take a good shower, have you a couple of bananas, and always drink you a glass of cranberry juice or cherry juice to keep that pH balance up. All right, y'all have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye. We'll see you later.
That was a good call.
I didn't approve that, though.
Yeah. We all know you didn't approve it. Al thinks and speaks for himself.
He just goes into such deliberate detail. You know, you don't have to always describe things that are so vivid. You can see his words. You really can. You can. Yep. I'm not going to add anything to that. Someone in the YouTube chat said basically Al has freedom of speech. No, 94% of people don't even know what freedom of speech is. That doesn't mean you can say whatever you want whenever you want to. There's some things you can say and literally go to prison for. So no, you can't just say whatever you want and call it freedom of speech. You guys know that. It means you can say whatever you want about your government, and your government can't incarcerate you for talking about your government, unless you're making a threat. But if you are in opposition to, or if you editorialize, or if you have a different political affiliation, your government cannot pursue you for that. Every other kind of speech is policed and it is regulated as it should be. I can't go and make a bunch of threats, threaten to blow up a building or shoot up a school and say, oh, I got freedom of speech. Freedom of speech might get you 3 to 5 years. So no, speech is not free. It means your government cannot constitutionally curtail speech that it finds objectionable unless that speech leads to and incites harm, like riots and mobs and that kind of stuff. Okay? All right, then.
I didn't know heavy smokers have black lips.
Oh, yeah, they do. Because the tar in the unfiltered marijuana can stain your lips. And there's other chemicals as well that can discolor pigmentation in your skin. All right, victim race. White victims with white offenders. Black victims. How do I read this? Victim race. White victims. 2,594. Oh, I got it. Now I can read it now. Okay. Where the race of the victim is white and the offender is also white, that accounts for 2,594 homicides. Where the victim is white and the offender is black, that's 566. So black people, of the 2,000, no. Of the 3,299 homicided white people, 566 offenders were black. White-on-white crime represents 78.6% of the white homicides. All right, black victims. Only 246 black homicide victims were killed by white people. But 2,574 black homicides were killed by black people. So the black-on-black homicide rate is 88.6%. Here's where, so Al was, well, he got specific. He said N-words kill white people. I don't want anybody to kill anybody. I'd rather no one kill anybody, but I don't have control over everybody. I would rather us be able to work it out.
What's the difference between a black person and an N-word?
Huge difference.
So kind of like a Jew and a Zionist?
Did you say that over the air?
Yeah. There's a difference, right?
What is it? No, go ahead. What's the difference between a Jew and a Zionist, Xavier? No. Clear it up for the people. I want to hear this. In fact, let me turn my mic off.
A person that practice the Jewish faith, they believe in Judaism, and then a Zionist is a person that believes in the state of Israel and the supremacy of Jewish people in Israel.
Why you keep messing with the Jews?
I'm not messing with the Jews.
I'm not saying that you aren't utilizing your protected speech.
I just gave a great example of what the difference is.
But the consequences are rarely worth the words that don't move the mountain. If that makes any sense to you. I can say a whole bunch of things about a whole bunch of different people and express my anger and my disgust of different groups of people, maybe different religions, maybe different races. The consequences I will bear for saying what I said won't change for the better the groups that I fundamentally disagree with. So all you're left with is the consequence. And it's a calculated decision. I
don't think I said anything wrong.
No, but I'm not Jewish or a Zionist. So to me, I find it unusual when white folks like to classify themselves, because to me,
all right,
I
now,
don't see a lot of difference
between a black and a N-word.
Do you think here's maybe an easier question for people to digest that are listening. Do you think that there's a difference between a democratic socialist or a very liberal, progressive lawmaker and a MAGA conservative Donald Trump Republican? Do you believe that there's a difference? That's
between a democratic socialist and a fascist?
Correct.
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
Okay. So that difference, and there are many, there are more differences between a black person and an N-word than there is between a democratic, socialist, ultra-lefty, liberal, progressive, and what you would call a fascist. Because here's the thing. If you go further in each direction, left or right, both of them got guns. Both of them want revolution. So they're not as far off as you may think. In fact, there is a large correlation between who were Bernie voters who turned into Donald Trump voters, because there's a group of people that feel left out, left back, and left behind. They don't know what their place is in America. They don't know how they're going to afford certain things. Healthcare is very expensive. There's a vulnerability of certain white men. In fact, they're dying. They're dying in high rates. We call them deaths of despair. They're dying from alcoholism and suicide and drug overdose. Their rates of incarceration are going up. One of the ways, and I didn't get to the information here I have in front of me, but one of the ways in which Caucasian people far outpace African Americans when it comes to confinement and imprisonment is in rural America. The number of people that are arrested for opioid deaths and possession, manufacturing methamphetamines, overdose on those kinds of drugs far outpace that of African Americans. Now, some of that is because there are simply just more white people in American society, and so all of their crime numbers are going to be larger simply because there are more of them. But Trump voters, at least 2016 Trump voters, a lot of them voted for Bernie Sanders. So there's not, but the difference between a black person and an N-word is it's social, it's cultural, it's academic, it's professional, and I'm not over here trying to create a divide. The divide is already there. Nobody wants to be around N-words. N-words don't even want to be around N-words because N-words kill each other. They're like, I don't like you. I'm going to blow you away. And I'm not saying that people should do that. I think that all the N-words should be able to get along. But I can't be around them. It's too hard to, because I see them on social media. They tend to be overrepresented. And I know that they are a drag on the decency of what black people are to me. No offense to the N-words, because I sure enough don't want to offend y'all. I do not need y'all showing up in my house. But also, N-words can be of any race. I told you, I call my white friend an N-word because he acts like one sometimes. And how he acts is worse than any black person. Because, you have all this privilege and you're white and you're acting like this? Come on. Black on black homicides are 88.6% of the homicides. When a black person is killed, 88% of them are killed by black people. 8.5% of African Americans that are killed by white people. When it comes to white-on-white homicides, 78.6% of Caucasians are killed by other Caucasians, but 17.2% of white people that are killed by a black person. So the percentage is double. We kill a doubling of the percentage of white people. That's so, come on, guys.
Maybe we're making up for Jim Crow.
Leave the whites alone. Don't kill them. They're very sensitive. Direct interracial comparison. Black offender, white victim, 566. White offender, black victim, 246. So we killed 320 more white people in a year than white people kill of us. But the numbers are still relatively low. The total interracial homicides in a year is about 800. Well, that's not low. But Milwaukee's going to have 200 homicides, so think about that. So just our city alone is going to represent a quarter of all of the interracial homicides in America. Raw counts alone can mislead because the white population is much larger than the black population. White alone, non-Hispanic, there's 100. Oh, my God, that's a lot of white folks. 197 million. You guys could start your own country. We'd still need them for certain things, like banking, a few other things.
You need white people for banking?
There's a black-owned bank that, unless they just got one, that doesn't even have you can't even get an ATM card. You can't even get a debit card. So, yes, the whites got the banking down. Like, I do this, like, when I buy stocks, like, they came up with a great system. And maybe a black person was involved in inventing it, but I don't know. I doubt it. It's called, you buy stocks on margin. So white people will say, how much money do you have? And you'll say, I got X amount of dollars. They're like, okay, I'll loan you based off of your money that you have, based off of whatever your 401k is. I'll give you half of that right now up front for you to buy and sell stocks with. So if you find a stock that you think is going to go up in value, we'll borrow you money because you have collateral, which is your investment portfolio. And if you want to buy stocks with our money, and if you make money, you can make money off our money we're borrowing to you, and then you keep the profit and just pay us our loan back. So when I buy and trade stocks, high volatility, low float stocks with high short interest, where it can go from $5 to $10 in the course of 24 hours, I'm borrowing money from white people to make my profit when I sell my trades at a higher value. It's such a good system. Thank you. Thank you, whites. Take a break, come back. Looks like we got Linda. You know, Linda's always fired up when she calls, so we'll see.
Yeah, she says she's going to answer my question.
She's fired up and usually horny. So we'll see how that goes. We'll talk to Linda on the other side of the truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Still think you're going to use those old chemicals just sitting around under the sink, in the garage, or down in the basement? We're talking things like old antifreeze, paint thinners, batteries, propane cylinders, and pesticides. So don't let them sit there. Get rid of them right away to MMSD's Home Hazmat Drop-Off Centers. It's safe, it's easy, and it's open to all Milwaukee County residents. There are 3 locations open year-round. Let's clean up Milwaukee.
Brunch plans? Happy hour plans? Either way, get loaded. At Loaded Spud, we turn the classic baked potato into a full-on flavor experience. Swing through for brunch favorites like shrimp and grits and chicken and waffles, then come back after work for happy hour in our loaded bowls, paired with cold drinks and a laid-back vibe. Enjoy happy hour from 4 until 10 p.m. with special prices on loaded potato favorites and drinks. Bring your friends and get your Spud on. Big portions, big flavor, no ordinary bar food. There's always a good time to get loaded. Stop in today at 789 North Water Street or visit online at letsgetloaded.online.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
If oil gets to $90 a barrel, I'll be able to pay off my house. I think war is awful. It's terrible. It doesn't resolve things. It creates long-lasting hatred and even more conflict that the American people are always going to find themselves involved in.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
But if I don't have a mortgage You know what I mean? It's you take the good with the bad. Didn't Donald Trump say he was going to end the wars? You can't have America first if you're involved in all these foreign wars. And there's people that believed him when he said that. He doesn't like wars. He said it many times. Said it on the campaign trail.
Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth.
He's bombed just as much in his first year as any warmongering hawk president we've ever seen since World War II.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org and donate if you can. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I don't think they're ready for this one. X, you don't know nothing about this. This was out a decade before you were born.
No, I don't. Have you listened to Tory Lane's Slutty Bass?
Tory Lanez can kiss my ass. I don't even care what his song sounds like. He's not blinding me with science.
Blinded me with science.
Linda, you're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Good morning, Professor. Good morning to all the beautiful, good-hearted black and white people of Milwaukee and America. Sharon, I just cannot believe that data, for real. That is mind-blowing.
What part do you not believe?
I can't see it. It's just, you know, it just goes against everything that we've, come to believe that.
What part, though?
You know, white people hate us, white people kill us, and that's all we've been hearing. So for you to come and say that, it's going to take me a minute to digest that one, Sharon. Of course, I don't want, anyone killing anyone, and 800 people homicides a year. That's really staggering. And yeah, we don't hear it like that. We always hear, the opposite. So yeah, it's going to take me a minute to digest that one. But to answer the question, what's the difference between a black person and the N-word? Pride and self-love of who we are, and knowing who you are and respecting that and loving that. And so I think that's the difference. People, the N-word doesn't know who they are. They just disconnected due to poverty, oppression, depression, mental, ignorance, lack of education, all of that, generational. That's what racism, I think the N-word is what is the epitome of racism and what it does, a racist system does to multiple families after generations and generations. It becomes an N-word.
But Linda, we're both produced in the same racist system, so how do you have such fundamental differences amongst black people?
Because
if we are both in the same system, there's something very, very different at play.
Yes, because of the efficacy syndrome. You can have two people, two children, twins, as a matter of fact, raised in the same family. One that experienced this, alcoholism, trauma, and all of that. One child excels, the other child succumbs to the trauma of what they grew up into. So what I'm saying is, on a higher level, like a collegiate experimental observation.
So it's the person, it's not the environment. It's not. It's not the environment, then it's the person. If the independent variable is a racist system, and you can have totally different outcomes with people, like some black person can excel and be very successful, and the other black person falls victim to the worst stereotypes, then it's because they're both in the racist system. It's the individual in the system.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And so then that N-word becomes an individual, but it becomes a statistic, a data of what racism does to a person. It needs to be studied.
All right. It has been studied, but let me pause you.
Has done.
Let me give you another example. So in the same system, how do we explain how some white people become very successful, very wealthy? They become millionaires and billionaires and own companies and are CEOs. And some white people are on Skid Row, are homeless, have no hope, no opportunity. Like some of them are poorer than even the worst off black folks. So what explains that?
Because as you've often referred to, that a white person who, suffers poverty at the extreme of racism, they will accept that just as long as the person they hate, the race they hate, is suffering. So I think that after generations of this system of racism affects white people, it affects us all. This is what I'm saying. Racism needs to be studied on a collegiate level.
It has been. A million different ways. There's every book, every publication for every grade level of child and adult. There's
how
movies.
It affects white people.
But I'm talking about a white family. Let's say many generations of white families that didn't own slaves. Maybe they were coal miners in West Virginia, that are so destitute and poverty and mired by criminal convictions and drug addictions that has nothing at all to do with racism. In fact, they're so poor, they're too poor to even hate black folks. So tell me how a racist system that is mostly anti-black and anti-minority harms white people. It's not the racist system. It's bigger than that.
And I would like to, and like I said, I think it needs to be studied. But there's a spectrum of people in the world that this system affects on different levels. Okay. It's really,
but it's not racism.
But I am going to the Black Historical Society tomorrow to that event. I'm interested in that, and I'm just thinking ahead, forward thinking. I'm really concerned about all the changes that are taking place in this country and worldwide. We know that, change is here. Things are shifting, and so it would behoove us to educate ourselves for what is to come. But we're this year, this summer, it's going to get worse before it gets better. But all I'm saying is keep your head above the water and take some time out for mental space, mental peace, health, and happiness. But yes, I think that the difference between a black person and the N-word is pride and self-love, of knowing who you are.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, then.
Thank you. Right. And you know what else I observed, Sherwin?
Nope.
Is that a lot of people are disassociating with present times, and they're reminiscing, being nostalgic, like you were. They're looking. Our mind is looking for a happy place, because presently nothing is really happy because of the wars and Trump's derangement syndrome. I think that a lot of people are reminiscing. The mind is trying to take us to a safe place, and that's why we are reminiscing so much to a better place, a feel-good place.
I hope you feel good, Linda.
I do. I always feel good when I'm sitting on your... Well, okay. Bye.
Linda!
Have a great weekend.
You can't say that!
Oh, is that your wife?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why would she say that?
I don't know.
Now she got people thinking...
I thought you guys have a special connection.
No, I don't know. I'm a celebrity. You know what I mean?
Oh, are you?
Child, please. You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Oh, I believe you.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Mm-mm.
What's on your mind there? It seems like something's brewing.
A commercial break is what's on my mind. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, exclusively on 101.7 on your FM dial. I think we're 1510 AM. We're on the AM dial too. 1017thetruth.com. Podcasts available everywhere and streaming on YouTube. 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
Another function of white supremacy: don't teach black people stuff, because if you give us a little bit of knowledge, we'll invent something totally new. That's why it was illegal to teach slaves to read, because if we could read, then we could write. And if we could write, we could communicate. And if we could communicate, we could plan. And if we could plan, we could strategize. And if we can plan and write and read and communicate and strategize, we could overthrow white supremacy, because they've always known how fragile it is.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
This April, it's Financial Literacy Month on 1017 The Truth, powered by UW Credit Union. Financial literacy isn't just about money. It's about confidence and making smart decisions for your future. UW Credit Union is here to help with free tools, expert guidance, and resources. From budgeting tips to one-on-one financial coaching and self-guided lessons you can access anytime. Because they're not a bank, they're a partner in your financial journey. Learn more at uwcu.org.
In Milwaukee County, equity means making sure everyone has a real chance to thrive. That's why the Milwaukee County Office of Equity works to help remove barriers, strengthen community connections, and support fair access to opportunities across Milwaukee County. Want to learn what they do, explore resources, or find ways to get involved? Just search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online. Milwaukee County Office of Equity, advancing equity for all Milwaukee County residents.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to help. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan and build a budget, even help you improve your credit and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners in our community, and many are paying a lot less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home. YouTube is gonna take this whole show down. I'm using all the copyrighted music. It's not fair though, because we're a radio station.
They don't know that.
I know, that sucks real bad. So I want to play all of the hits, all the musics. This music, and Linda was talking about nostalgia. I think it's more denial. People don't want to, deal with what's going on right now because it's astonishing, especially to those of us that grew up with the monoculture. We still had social problems, but there were also things that a lot of Americans just simply agreed on, and it was popular culture and music. When Michael Jackson's Thriller album came out, it was a cultural phenomenon that crossed the globe, and nobody cared he was black. I mean, he wasn't black much longer after that, but there were things that we all found in common, and a lot of it was cultural. Now we have so much individuality, and you can't even, like you brought up a Tory Lanez album, Xavier, and there was a time where we all listened to the same music because it was on the places where you listen to music there weren't as many, and we all heard the same stuff. Now people are exposed to feeds and to reels that are so specific to them. Having the monoculture is a throwback. It's a relic of the past. Like you'll say, oh, Sherwin, have you heard of XYZ podcast or XYZ creator? Absolutely not. Because they will be filtered and shown to you and only you. Like if I look through someone else's phone, if they're a different race, a different gender, a different level of education, what I would see on their feed would be literally foreign to me. And they think that everybody sees that. They think that, oh, this is the stuff I'm exposed to. These are the content creators that I'm seeing. And they may find, entertainment or information in those content creators. And then they'll say, oh, hey, have you heard of Milwaukee? The food reviewer here from Milwaukee? Oh, damn near everybody in the chat had no idea who she was. But then if you are familiar with her and her content, let's say you've been following her for the 10 years she's been making content, which is a long time, you're going to think everybody knows who she is. And so you can't even have common ground conversations anymore. We would go to school or work the next day. Hey, did you see that episode of The Cosby Show? That was crazy, right? But yeah, I saw it. Everybody saw it. Now you ask someone, hey, did you see that posting from XYZ creator from Northern California? What? Huh? So we're all getting different information, but I also think it functions to keep society divided because one person might use the internet sparingly or begrudgingly or reluctantly because they have to for work. And then there's other people that live on the internet, whether they're gamers or whether they're red pill people, and they're getting all their information constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They never stop scrolling and indoctrinates them in such a way. And then it kind of takes them out of mainstream society because all the information they're receiving is so personal to them. And your scrolling behavior becomes even more specific and individualized to you to where the things you're exposed to only make sense to you. And I find this phenomenon very troubling. But, it's the way of the world. And also, stop posting on Facebook, I do not give Facebook permission to use my photos. Yes, you did. Stop. That hoax was debunked 10 years ago. You gave Facebook everything in your phone. Your phone calls, your text messages, your photographs. When you agree to use these social media websites, for the convenience of these websites and these apps being free, they get all your information, even stuff you didn't know that they were getting. So please, this is a public service announcement. Maybe we need to record a new PSA saying and posting on social media, I do not give you permission for my photos. Excuse me while I post a bunch of my photos that you don't have permission to see. You're giving your pictures to Facebook, and they're put them in a big glass window for everybody to look at. What did we learn today? Black people kill more white people. And I don't like when grocery stores change their layouts. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time.
Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do